Hey, what's up, everyone? A lot has taken place since I made my last video from the Strange Sounds Twitter page regarding various strange occurrences taking place in the world around us. So, I'm going to go ahead and make another one of those videos now, and hopefully my phone will comply with me. It went crazy yesterday, and I'll talk about that later, so let's get started here. First, a dangerous amount of volcanic activity is happening around this world. Kawa Lejean releases toxic gases, injuring 30 individuals in Indonesia. Giant cracks are opening up in Kenya's Rift Valley, and Ambe eruption has destroyed crops in Vanuatu. Canlaon inflates in the Philippines. And Canlaon inflates in the Philippines. Sorry. And here are some of the images posted to this Twitter page. I will try to link below. I'll put it below so that you can read this for yourself. So as you can see, individuals are having to wear gas masks in many of these locations due to the very dangerous air in the very dangerous air in the areas. So they are encouraging residents at the slopes of this area to prepare for any eventualities due to the volcanic inflation taking place in the areas. About 30 people have been poisoned due to the gas releasing in an explosion at this mountain in Indonesia. Hold on, I've never had an ad block the screen before while I'm doing a Twitter video. Okay, now, about 30 people were poisoned, as I stated, and several individuals transferred to the hospitals. Residents of 3 hamlets near the crater were evacuated. And here are some of the images posted online. The toxic fumes are going into the atmosphere. The gas was released by the phenomenon called bualan, which is an explosion or a sudden release of gas in a crater lake caused by an overpressure, mainly due to an accumulation of CO2 and H2S in the acidic lake. And this is the video posted to Twitter and YouTube. You can select this video and it will play on YouTube or on this site. I start viewing these websites or these posts from the Strange Sounds Twitter page, there's always seems to be an issue with the page, and my phone doesn't want to record. But I'm going to try to continue recording. Right now, roofs, water tanks, water preservations, nature, rare grass, and everything. Right now, it's so important for feeding the livestock that emergency food resources are being sent to the area, because basically all of their resources are being poisoned by the toxic air. So we have another post a couple of days ago that stated, this is from a couple of days ago, that stated, are these northeastern storms, these storms hitting the northeastern coast, basically much of the eastern coast of the United States, and bombogenesis, or these giant bomb cyclones, the new normal? Are they the new normal? So, with all of this recent uprising of these major storms hitting the East Coast, and continuous non-stop superstorms striking these various places, but especially the East Coast in particular, are they the new normal? Because we've been experiencing them so often. That is the question facing us today. Well, facing meteorology as a whole. So in the past 3 weeks, there have been 3 harsh northeastern storms, and they have battered the northeastern United States, bringing the total to 5 for the entire winter. A sixth one, they say, may be forming this week, just as I stated last week When the previous one happened, I stated there were 2 more out in the ocean and that one of them might hit this week. It's looking like that's one of the possible scenarios, but we'll have to see how this plays out as time moves on. Like I was stating, if what takes place, if what happens is what I was thinking last week and what meteorologists were stating, then it could be the likely scenario that plays out. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully not, but we'll see. For those individuals living on the East Coast, just keep an eye out for that. If we do have another one, a sixth one forming, I mean, we do have one forming, but if we do wind up having it hit the East Coast, according to meteorologists, it's very highly unusual, but it seems to be happening. 4 or 5 storms were bombogenesis, so they were the bomb cyclones, a legitimate technical term that basically means the atmospheric pressure within the nascent storms dropped rapidly and radically, causing them to blow up into raging beasts, basically just blow up, like literally. That's why they're called bombogenesis, because the pressure drops to a certain amount immediately, causing it to turn into this raging beast of a storm. Scientists have been predicting these very circumstances, they stated, and now more data that has been released are supporting a once controversial theory that this is making the winter weather more extreme, but I don't know. I have my various theories on this, and but we will be, I do believe the climate is changing, and I do believe that, weather manipulation is taking place, and that is a factor, that weather modification technology does come into play in our modern world. And it has for quite some time. If you look back at the original World Wars and the Japanese and Korean Wars, what was taking place then as well, you can find online. But for people in those areas, they said the streak represents a new normal. According to science, they're talking about the warming of the Arctic, but there's a lot taking place now, and there's a lot of factors into play besides that, because I'm not promoting the global warming theory or the global warming agenda on here. That's not what my videos are for. I do believe the climate is changing, but in these times in which we live, there's a lot taking place, and weather modification does not help that. But anyway, yeah, I'm not supporting basically what the mainstream media and elitists push out, because a lot of times it is for an agenda. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. For people living in the areas on the East Coast, they're going to have to be dealing with these storms regularly. And it's really too many perfect case scenarios that these storms come into play, where they're happening. I mean, I'll get into that too for another video, but it's just too perfect storm situations, basically, where you have these storms. The conditions are perfect, 100% perfect for these kinds of storms, and they come into play, and it's like this storm might push out into the ocean. Nope, it suddenly just took a turn for the worse. That's what they said last time, just a few days ago. Oh, it suddenly decided to take a turn toward the coast and take a turn for the worst. That happens every time, almost. Right toward wherever they were stating it was likely to hit. Anyway, and for the people in those areas, the streak represents the new normal, or a new normal, storms that are nastier and they stick around longer than anyone would like. So, I mean, these are some videos posted to YouTube, and they're talking about another northeastern storm could happen next week, and then another one possibly following that for springtime. As we head into the second week of spring, another one might be possible. In the Northeast, 3 monster storms in 3 weeks is certainly extreme. Weather in the Arctic has also gone crazy. They stated that, temperatures it has been a fluctuation, though, above normal, below normal. Individuals have spoken to me stating that it's actually colder than it was, a lot colder. So that was just that was a crazy incident. They call it a freak incident. So more than a dozen major climate records have been broken in the past 3 years. But, I mean, the weather is going crazy, and so is the climate. But high winter temperatures. We did have warm temperatures here this winter, and then also some very extreme cold temperatures when it did hit. when it did get cold. And then low winter and summer ice, and then basically up and down is what we had. We had up and down temperatures, according to their information and what we went through. Some of their information differs from what we actually went through. So, anyway, for almost 10 years or a decade, scientists have been predicting this kind of weather. I mean, they're probably promoting the warming trend here, but I'll get into other things in another video, but I'm not really going in that direction for this video. There's a lot more going on than just that. But anyway, the winter weather phenomenon, and United States could be dealing with these cold snow systems more often on the East Coast, and these bombogenesis bomb cyclones will be more common. So the Northern Hemisphere weather, crazy weather is expected all around from now on. They said the infamous polar vortexes, the circulation patterns and how it's split in two, it may disrupt the polar vortexes, this current shift that we're seeing, controlling the weather all around the Northern Hemisphere, including the United States, and Northern and Central Europe, and Northern Asia. So all of these areas could see some crazy weather. This is the low pressure system that they were speaking of, and that's the fourth one that hit as far as March. Last week, the paper was published that these linkages are no longer a hypothesis. There's a strong correlation. I mean, right now, certain parts of the Arctic being warm and these bombogenesis occurring, so that could be strengthening that. But, I mean, I am not promoting the agenda that they push out. I'm just stating that weather has been very up and down. I will state that. I do believe in a change in the climate. I do believe in that, the climate change, but not necessarily the agenda they're pushing toward for more laws that they want in their direction. But I'm just sharing what's going on and taking place right now, that there have been several storms hitting the East Coast, and they expect to become a lot more common. So these streak of storms and everything represents a new normal. That these storms, these cold snaps and these storms will come around more often than what people would like, and they'll be around a lot longer than many would like. So, yeah. And in other news, there was a 4.6 magnitude and a 4.7 magnitude earthquake hit Eureka, California. This was one day ago. And the sky looked to be divided as this amazing sunset split baffled sky watchers. Check out this sunset split. Now that is fascinating. It was like partially part of a sunset. It was half and half. It was half and half. And the mysterious Atacama alien skeleton apparently was a stillborn girl. It was with an astounding 7 different mutations in her genes, possibly, and bone development as well. That's what they're stating now. And a Category 5 tropical cyclone, Marcus, is Earth's strongest since Hurricane Maria. So that is taking place right now out in the ocean. And more than 150 whales strand in Hamelin Bay, Australia. The cause is still unknown. 143 dead. Only 7 were able to be rescued. The videos and pictures are below. And a magnitude 6.3 earthquake hit Papua New Guinea as of 18 hours ago. Again, they've been relentlessly dealing with earthquakes and multiple aftershocks for a good while now. Skiing on Sahara sand. Pink snow in Ukraine. In Sochi, Russia. A crazy weather phenomenon transfers enormous quantities of sand from the Sahara to the Black Sea regions. So it's fascinating phenomenon in place here. All kinds of stuff happening. All kinds of things. And the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is now twice the size of Texas, and it's rapidly getting bigger. This huge garbage patch in the ocean is getting much larger. Check that out. That is just crazy that we have that much garbage in the ocean. And horrible for the environment. But anyway, that's all for now as far as the Strange Sounds Twitter page news. I decided to go ahead and make this video really quickly this morning and get it uploaded. I hope you're all having a nice weekend, and I wish the best for you all. Pray for us to have a good, calm, and happy, peaceful Sunday and a great day. and just let's pray for the hope and pray for the best. So I send much love, and thank you for watching. There's a lot going on. I'll make more videos soon. Peace. Bye.